One is an idiot, it might be both of them. Shut up, dude. It's a podcast. Flawless cut on that, on that bit of music there. I can see I've supplied grade A gold once again.
Once again.
Welcome to Shut Up, Dude.
That's not what that looks like when
It's,
you put it in.
What?
That audio file does not look like that when you put it in there. I did that to that.
I see.
Yes.
Well.
You're, great bit, awesome bit, but, careful on those high horses, bro. Those things buck.
I will be careful.
Right.
We were just talking about Jocko Willink, because in a previous episode you were like, you should listen to Jocko Willink. And
Yeah.
I was like, how's his tunneling segment? And you were like, killer. It's amazing. I listened to his podcast. It didn't have a tunneling segment.
You got to look for a specific one of his
Okay.
about tunnels.
So it's amateur hour, basically. Is
Yeah,
what
no,
you're
no,
saying.
he's
It's like
not
he doesn't
I'm
have
sorry,
a regular tunneling segment.
Did I make you think Jocko has a specific tunneling segment?
I'm learning not to believe many things that you say, but I did check up. I think that Jocko Willink could be cool.
I had to apologise.
Yeah.
Because of what I say.
I think Jocko Willink could be a cool podcast to listen to if you
Which
need
one of
an
us-
older
which one
man
of
to
us had
tell
to
you that
apologise for
everything
getting
will be
sucked
okay.
in? Which one of us apologised for getting sucked in? Was it me?
We both apologized.
Yeah, but who did the thing that made us have to apologise?
We both did.
Did we?
Yeah, we were having a lot of fun.
I think one of us was having a bit more fun than the other. Nah, Jocko's cool. I like him.
I think if you need an older man to kind of reassure you and
that's
tell you
it.
everything will be okay, then that's all.
I
That's all
just
good.
said it. If I had to go in the army and deal with the crap that is being in the armed forces,
Yeah.
I'd want a guy like him in charge.
I would, but I'm not. I'm like vacuuming and shit when I listen to podcasts. I'm not a tunnel rat.
Yeah, nah.
Yeah.
He's just staunch. I like him, and he's fucking pretty good at
That's
jiu-jitsu.
fair enough. He was charismatic. I didn't hate the podcast. I'm just fucking around.
Nah, of course. I get you. You're just
this-
trying
this
to
is
find
also
ways
a
to throw
podcast.
shit. I get it.
Yeah, this is also a podcast.
Shut up, dude.
Frankly, a superior podcast, even just in light of the tunneling segment, which
Yeah, well, you run everything through a tunnel filter. We're the shit.
not everything.
I wasn't meaning you personally. I mean, if you run it through a tunnel filter, we're the top.
Yes,
We've had some pretty good comments and feedback from people who have, I won't be surprised if after a while there's a petition for us just to do tunnels.
perhaps that could be some kind of premium content that we
Yeah.
look into doing.
Yeah, like a Patreon.
Maybe we should do something like that.
We'll have to have a look.
Yeah, do tell us what you'd like to see wherever you hear this podcast. Feel free to leave
Wherever you can
leave a thing that says
stupid content.
Yeah,
Yeah. Should we go on news? Or?
yeah. Let's talk about if we don't have anything to catch up from last week.
Not really.
Let's talk news.
You did tell me to do some research, and
You
I
didn't do it.
Straight up didn't. No. I'll just leave that baseless comment I made on the last one to fester.
That was fucking outrageous. I can't believe you pulled that shit at the end of the last episode. Especially because before the episode, you're like, let's not go at each other. And then you fucking... So the brief was, keep your insane cuntiness in line for like an hour. And it turns out, you can't do that.
Yep.
Man,
Neither
that's
can,
fine. We know that now. It was a
Neither can
learning
you.
experience.
Neither can you. You had to keep your insane shit in, and you were like, stop besmirching the purity of the tunnel. Bro, hold up. All I did was introduce the tunnels as two-sided. You were the one that took it offense because of your...
You were mostly innocent.
Nah, not innocent.
No.
But...
You said tunnelingus, right, as a collective noun for a group of fans. That doesn't make any
Yes.
sense. It's a verb.
No. I just want to use it. Why haven't we got, tunnelingus shirts? Just to enjoy the art of talking about tunneling. See? That's where I was leaning. You went straight for your Catholic upbringing and oh no, he's talking about eating vaginas. We're going to go to hell now.
We are.
We knew that.
Yeah. I've been reading about hell this week, brother.
Yeah, where was your hell? What did you read
My
up on?
Goodness. Well, the religion I was reading about, there's only there's not technically a hell. It's more like 1,000 years of suffering and then annihilation.
What fucking religion was this?
The Seventh-day Adventists, bro. Because there
Oh.
is something that you said to me from last week that maybe we should talk about.
Yeah.
You said we were talking about doing jingles. Well, I tried to do a few, but I only came up with one that maybe is worth listening to here. Let's see.
And this was me saying, why don't we make terrible jingles for companies? Or you
Yeah.
make terrible jingles for companies.
Yeah.
And then we extort them.
Yeah, I don't know. We could see, bro. But I read about that company Sanitarium.
Yeah, bro.
They don't pay tax because they are a charitable organization in that they promote religion. That is,
they somehow
that's how they
make
get
that
tax exempt
Metallica
status.
song dumb.
I was reading about the Seventh-day Adventists, and I didn't know much about them, so I started reading about them.
What's one of the major things that
So they're
what
descended.
would people go, oh, those guys is they work on the go to church on Saturday thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
they're like the Sabbath is the day that God rested, and since everybody knows the week starts on Sunday, the Sabbath is on Saturday. They think part of their eschatological part of their end times prophecy is that there'll be a holy war based in large part on disagreeing whether the Sabbath is Saturday or Sunday. Oh yeah. There's going to be a holy war, and I'm afraid to say that both you and I will be fighting on the side of Satan.
Sick.
Yeah, should be good. We'll be
good.
assailing the Holy
I've
Land,
always
New
thought me and him would
Jerusalem.
be boys anyway. I don't listen to the guys that he doesn't like.
Yeah.
Surely, what is it? Enemy of my enemy is my friend or whatever?
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that sounds fine.
But wait, they reckon that there's going to be this massive war over which day is
That'll
the
be
Sabbath.
one of the catalysts for it. They wouldn't dare be so petty as to say something like that.
Because it sort of sounds like us versus them if they're the ones that think it.
Yeah, but they'll have Jesus. They'll have Jesus on their side. So
And I hope when
they'll
he
be all
comes
good.
back, he's just mad as.
Well, the thing about the Seventh-day Adventists is they're branched off or descended from, however you want to say it, the Millerites. This guy Miller in the 1800s in the US read a bunch of scripture, and his theory was you can know things about the future if you cross-reference all these different sources. And he was like, okay, so there's a prophecy in Daniel that something will happen at the end of 2,300 days. And he used something which is called the day-to-year law, which, I don't know if you know, that sounds very official, but it basically means when you read in the Bible that it says days, you instead take that to mean years. And he was like, oh shit, that was in guys, the apocalypse is in a few years. Can you believe that? 1843, 1844, that kind of thing. And they're like, that is fucking great, Frank. We are going to need you to put an actual date on it. He's like, March, I don't remember what the fucking date was.
we will let the dice decide.
But he put the thing, and Jesus didn't come back, unfortunately. So he revised the date. Others revised the date to new dates that also kept passing.
Yep.
These guys are sure. There was heaps of them by this stage. They
So
said
they
October 22nd, 1844. That's the date that
what's
Jesus comes back.
What's their one now?
Well, we'll get there.
Okay.
So this is for the cleansing of the sanctuary, is what it says in Daniel. So Jesus, sounds great, right? And not at all ominous.
Not at all.
So Jesus comes back on 22nd of October, 1844. Sorry, no, I've got that factually wrong. No, he didn't come back on 22nd. He didn't come back on that date. I don't know how well you know your American history, but he didn't.
Nah,
he
I'm
didn't
not
come-
well versed in my
he
made up
didn't
American
come
shit.
back.
Yeah.
And these Millerites splintered off into several different groups who rationalized that prophecy in all these different ways. One of them was that Jesus did come back, but he came back to heaven. He came back to heaven to cleanse heaven. He's going to cleanse heaven for 1,000 years, and then he'll come back here.
That's convenient.
It is convenient. I love those those cults and religions and stuff where they set a date for the end times and it passes, and they got to be like, I can still get to have sex with everybody, right?
This is awkward for everyone.
Yeah.
I
don't
know I said.
Yeah. So I was reading about these guys. They believe in the wholeness of
fuck's sake.
body, mind, and spirit.
Sorry, bro.
Okay.
Just a sec. We're
Yeah,
going to have
bro,
to
all right.
pause.
Shut up.
Apologies.
Yeah, we're back.
Sorry about that.
That had to be dealt with.
Dealt with, though.
I was just talking about these Seventh-day Adventists.
these wonderful apocalyptic cornflake sellers.
Yeah, bro. Don't forget that they're
Yeah.
selling us cereal so that we can have like healthy mind, body, and spirit, so
Whoa.
that we can be equipped to fight in the upcoming holy war. Like the holy war has basically already kicked off because they believe. So 1844, nothing happened, and they called it the Great Disappointment. Like, oh, we weren't raptured, gutted. So then they reinterpreted it, and this guy Miller, he didn't like this, but they reinterpreted it to mean he's cleansing the sanctuary. 1,000 years of judgment has begun, and we are being judged at this moment, and at the end of this time, he'll come back. Oh, super crazy aside with these guys. That's called the investigative judgment. But these guys, the Seventh-day Adventists, and I've learned a lot of Protestants consider the papacy to be the Antichrist.
Oh yeah.
I didn't know that shit at all. Like, I grew up Catholic, so I didn't know any of that stuff.
Bro, have you seen?
But they think he's the Antichrist, man, or at least the.
Have you seen the
institution is.
sculpture that sits in the throne room of the
It's
Vatican?
fucking badass.
And it's Jesus being resurrected from a nuclear bomb crater.
Yeah, I have seen that. You've showed me that actually.
Yeah, it looks like a obituary album
bro, it's
cover or some shit.
killer.
Well, no wonder.
I'd love
all
to have one of
these
those here.
Other fellas think, oh no, they must be the bad ones.
Look, with
I love how many American fellas are like, what I think Jesus meant to say.
Yeah. I love the idea that you can look back at the Bible and it's guys talking about stuff that happened in their time and trying to rationalize it through metaphor. And 2,000 years later, people are like, they probably mean now in 1844.
Yeah,
That's probably what they were talking about when
It's
it's
got to be
days.
1844. Right.
Yeah.
It's got to be. You're like, that cracks me up too, because that means that one day the Seventh-day Adventists will be like, it's 2046. And you would have spoken, what is it?
Spoken it into being.
Yeah, spoken to being, bro. That's you. You've done it with these fellas.
Well, look, I did a bit of reading about these guys, and that's what inspired the jingle that I've made for Sanitarium.
Okay.
I mean, they've got some bangers, and I considered some parody options. I ended up doing something, well, you'll see.
Are we just ready now?
Yeah, man. Let's hear it.
Let's go then. I think, yep, this is about to kick in. Sanitarium jingle by the brother. Here we fucking go, guys.
The cleansing of heaven has begun. The cleansing of earth is nigh. Sanitarium. What do you think? Would you buy some wheat picks after hearing that?
That does sound like... Okay, hang on. You know the guy that invented cornflakes? You know why they were invented?
Yeah, I do know
Bland
why.
foods would mean bland minds, and it would stop people jacking off.
Yeah.
That
He was obsessed with that.
That thing you just did sounds like somebody who thinks cornflakes would stop people masturbating has commissioned.
I don't know if you could jerk off while listening to that.
That's what I'm
jingle.
saying. That's
yeah,
what I'm saying.
I hear you.
The guy that's like, hey, eat this tasteless, bland shit and listen to this so
Yeah.
you can't rub one out. I'm impressed again, bro. Once again, a stinger.
Yeah.
We did have someone tell us that we should pioneer that all theme music for all podcasts can be only referred to as stingers.
That's how I see it anyway.
Interesting take. That's...
Look, there were a lot that got left on the editing room floor. Making jingles is tougher than I thought.
Yeah, well, you're going up against a pretty big one in the Seventh Days. Like, they got that Wheatbix contract.
Yeah.
Well,
And the Holy War is coming.
well, it's fucking been going the whole time, really.
Yeah.
Like, if you envision existence as just God and the devil playing a game to see
Yeah.
who can get the most souls, well, some crazy fuck thinking, oh, God spoke to me, and that's why I reckon Saturday's the day we go to church and the apocalypse is coming. I don't get that thing, It always buzzes me out when, we should all be good to each other. and love because of this Jesus guy, because doom is coming. And it's like, what?
Never forget that.
Yeah,
Never
yeah,
forget
it's
that's part of the undercurrent.
always-
When they go like,
always keep
we
it in
do
mind.
this religious stuff, so we sell this healthy food so that you can have a healthy body, mind, and spirit for the upcoming blood war between us and the non-believers.
Hey, you got to sell Weet-Bix somehow.
Yeah. It got me thinking a little
That's
bit
why
about
is this why there's the Weet-Bix triathlon? They're like training the kids early,
Yes.
bro, to get fit.
Yes, that's what it is. Now, it doesn't matter which side of the blood war we end up on, but you and I, if we eat our Weet-Bix, we will have healthy minds and bodies.
Oh man, I don't even know how to fucking wrap my head around any of these religion things anymore.
Reading about this really cleared up my own position on the Israel-Hamas conflict,
Keep
which
going.
is I don't give a fuck what these
Yeah.
religious weirdos are doing, because the undercurrent of all of what they believe is like, no, there's a holy war coming. There, you can think about it as a war over territory and stuff, but it's all about like, no, my guy said this.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
my guy said, we don't have to care. We don't have to care
I've
about
said
it.
it to you before that I find it weird that like every religion seems to have like the rules and then the reward,
Yeah.
and the rewards tend to all be the same. You know, holy fucking place in the sky. where
Eternal life.
yeah, your family and all your friends will be there and shit.
Some
So-
number of virgins that's not
yeah,
zero.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's always crack up because of that, you know, we all agree that there's some magical afterlife, but everyone's arguing over who came to tell us. And I can't remember if I've said it on here before, but it's like arguing over the name of the pizza driver. Yeah.
Yeah. Where it falls apart for me is there's no pizza.
Yeah, yeah,
No-
yeah.
nobody showed up. You're at
And
home
you're
alone.
And you're still willing to get into a fight over who brings it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
there's-
but
there is
when
none.
it comes,
Yeah, yeah.
it'll be this guy.
It'll be Brad that brings it, bro. You know that fellow Skyliners the shit, and it's a fuck Skylines, bro. Mike's bringing it, and it's like the whole time Brad and Mike are off sitting somewhere. None
Fucking
the wiser.
in the
Probably
butt.
fucking. Probably
Yeah.
butt fucking.
Yeah.
Because that's usually what happens when you're giving a divine message. There's some secret butt fucking going on in there somewhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's,
See, I haven't delivered too many divine messages, but I have delivered a pizza or two.
yeah. But all of them, this apocalypse, like, I don't know, there must be a handbook that says make sure that everyone is primed for this holy war. So
Yeah.
I think hasn't it all been going on the entire time? Like, Christians versus fucking what was the big one, the Crusades? Who did they fight? I can't remember.
The Buddhists, I think.
It wasn't the Buddhists.
Yeah, I think it was the Buddhists.
I think it was-
Christians versus Buddhists in First Crusade.
Nah, that's when.
That's why they made
that's
the-
later, bro. When
that's why they
got
made the
all
Knights
opium
Templar.
and the tea.
Nah, they made the Knights Templar to like look after people's stuff, so they could go fight the Buddhists. I think in the southeast.
But so all of these things though is like my magic guy in the sky said this. Don't worry, I know it's not the Buddhists. You're looking at me like you pulled that off. Just magic guy in the sky, therefore we can do what we want. It's just such a fucked up thing. And they keep getting weirder. Like, it's gonna be fucked up in a few years when the adjectives that are tagged on to churches are longer than the shitty metal bands we like. You know, and it's like, post metal, sludge,
shit.
grunge, fuck all,
Dude,
core.
speaking of
Yeah.
shitty metal bands, I went to make a Sanitarium stinger, and I listened to Sanitarium by
By
Metallica.
Metallica. Yeah, bro.
Holy I knew that band was bad, but I was not fucking ready for how bad that song was. I could not. I know I'm not making friends doing this. You retards fucking love Metallica, don't you?
You haven't had friends.
Listen
for
to that.
years.
Stop and pretend you've never heard of Metallica and listen to that song. There's nothing good about it.
If you're
Every part of
learning
it is
guitar,
fucked.
When you're learning guitar, that very first riff is one of the coolest things you can learn.
Okay.
Mm.
I mean, that just never happened to me somehow.
Because of the crippling fact that you're a loser.
I was busy learning REM.
yeah. It's like, I love it when you're like, man, these guys suck. And I'm like, I'm sitting in here with all your music equipment. And what's your band?
I don't have a band.
Yeah,
Elvis.
fucking exactly. Egg fucking Zach.
I'm playing music with some guys, but it's more of a personal thing.
You guys all just like each other and haven't come out. That's all that is. That's
It's a
four.
polycule.
That's just four dudes all looking to the right, and they're all in love.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like a conga line.
sit around and talk about. Hey, do you remember when we fucked last and that key change? Oh, just as I come, bro, I went into a seventh. Like, yeah, I bet that's all you do. All you do.
There's a lot of palling around, I'll say.
Yeah, but back to what I was saying about how do these cunts have these imaginary friends and think that it provides anything. I missed that boat.
No, I
Yeah.
get it. Like, faith does provide stuff. That's totally, like, the feeling that you get from having faith, totally legit, and I understand
So
it.
there's a suspension of belief, though. In order
No,
to
I don't-
click
I
with
don't-
it, or what? How do you do it?
No, there's a
'Cause
thing
It
where-
never worked with me, so
It didn't really work with me either, but I was much more in it, I think, than you
like.
were.
Were you more in it due to the threats of what would happen if you weren't?
No, I mean, it was just normal. Like, we were raised Catholic. All our family was Catholic. Like, it
So,
was
like,
just,
if
it was,
you
I went
said
to a
some
Catholic school
If you
with
said
nuns.
some un-Catholic shit, what would happen to you?
If I said un-Catholic shit,
Were they sweet with it, or did you face consequences?
I never got beat for it or anything. I didn't get
Just
beat for, like,
reprimanded?
blasphemy. Sorry?
Reprimanded vocally.
I'm not sure if they were super strict about, like, enforcing
Do you
our
think
faith.
you were
I think
just
they were
into it?
trying to raise us to be Catholic, but they weren't like, hey, believe in God. They just kind of, like, took us to church. Like, they didn't. I don't
Yeah.
think I ever got scolded for being like, hey, I tried to accept Jesus into my heart and I didn't feel anything. Am I broken?
Yeah. That's what I've dealt with growing up with fellas who were like, oh my god, I think I'm fucked because I didn't do it. And it was
Yeah.
like, none of it's real. Like,
No, it's real.
I never. When I was real little and we had Bible in schools, and I asked if they had dinosaurs in heaven, and the lady told me that dinosaurs weren't real,
Great.
and I was like, yeah, they are. I've got like tons of books on
Yeah,
it at
yeah.
home. I'm 5, 6.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, well, this book. I was like, you have one. I'm 5 and I have like hundreds of books that say dinosaurs are real. You have one book and
Yeah.
you're old as.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. You
So-
need more stuff than that.
Elvis, it's a fucking killer book.
Yeah, but they're also just stories to keep the kids quiet on the fucking carriage ride to Bethlehem, isn't it?
Have you ever seen religious people deal with grief? No, like death. Like
Yeah, they do it badly.
no, I don't. They
Have you seen Moldies deal with grief?
Yeah, but
Way better.
Yeah,
Way better.
yeah.
I went to a tangi of someone and it was like this person they had unalived themselves. It was
Sure.
pretty dark.
That's what they say.
And everybody there was pretty white, man. And you could not have told it was a tangi
Yeah.
until the Māori lady who worked with the deceased got up and like, okay, wah, and broke into full wail.
Yeah.
And you could see goosebumps going up on
Yeah,
people.
right.
And then she walked off stage, bro, wiped her tears, put the flowers on the casket and sat back down like, okay, let's all do this thing.
Yeah.
And you could just see like no one knew how to deal with grief out loud.
Yeah.
It's like, oh no, God will save them. God's got them now, and all this weird like, hey, fake shit that I'm just saying in this cadence to make you feel better. That's why I don't ever.
No, my very religious family, like my
Mm.
extended family, they at funerals they get sad like anybody else, but they're so sure that the person they love is in a better place. They
Which is
they
sort of-
know it, dude,
If you're
and it
that
seems
confident,
to give them great
if you're that
comfort.
confident to sit at a tangi and be like, they're fine. That is the same confidence that goes, I can do what I
No,
want.
not they're fine. They're the lucky ones, and I'll get this.
Yeah.
So
They're better. They're sorted now. They're out of this hellhole.
Yeah.
Whatever the hell. The confidence of that person to look at a tangi and be like, oh, well, at least they made it, is the same confidence that means I can be an asshole all week and just say sorry on Sunday.
yeah,
That's that same level of confidence.
yeah. That's you just described Catholicism.
Yeah. I was trying to. Yeah.
You add in some ritualistic mock cannibalism, you're
Yeah, bro.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, and then to try and, like, oh, it's some pedophile in a dress standing in the front of everybody.
Gotta
being
have
like,
the pedophile.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't know. Like, was England once so scary that when they came in and fucked up all the brown people that it was like, look, we'll just take your Jesus guy, stop hitting us. And everyone just sucks the dick at England so hard for what?
Okay, well, it wasn't really England. It kind of came from different parts of Europe, spread to England. Like England was like like feudal fucking dirt people and druids
Yeah.
and shit for ages.
mean.
But yeah, I
Go
think
back.
it all, yeah, grew like I mean, all the Abrahamic traditions kind of branch off from Abraham, from
Yeah. Yeah.
like Judaism, basically. Like,
Yeah, just like I said, it's arguing over who's bringing the pizza.
yeah,
We've all decided we know we want pizza.
yeah.
We all know not all of us, but some of us know there's no fucking pizza.
Do you think this is interesting to people, or is this like a Reddit fucking atheist board that we're doing?
I don't know. I think we're looking at shit in a different way to those Reddit
Yeah,
boards.
but I also
'cause-
shit on Metallica. Like, everyone who wasn't alienated by the atheist stuff probably fucking loves Metallica.
I don't know.
I ruined everything.
Metallica suck. I've always liked those albums. The album you were shitting on. Yeah, I love that stuff. But that's probably nostalgic more than appreciation of music.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm so distorted with what I think is cool musically anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of my favorite quotes from the singer of the Black Dahlia Murder was, "In a few years, the guitars will be so fast that only computers can hear it. The drums will sound like a constant noise. It'll just be a noise, and the vocals will descend into fart noises. And I'm gonna buy the fuck out of it and love all of it." And I
Yeah.
always think, fuck, that's cool. Like,
Yeah.
that's different to how other music fans work. But like, if someone says I like everything, no, you fucking don't.
No.
Shut up.
No, you
That's
just
fence
you
sitter.
just fed what you're given.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
that's
like
fine.
what is
You
free
do
and
that.
pumped into your brain.
Yeah.
Comes back to these
We'll just
fucking
put on the radio. I'll
religions.
just listen to whatever's popular. That's fine. You can do that.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's just weird. The religion thing and the everyone's apocalyptic, while there's a better place
Yeah,
out there. Like,
don't ever take a religious
Yeah.
person seriously, because
Never.
all of them have this: the holy war is coming, and you're with us or against us. They all fucking think
I
that, dude.
already had lost a lot of faith when I'd meet like people who wore crucifixes.
Yeah.
And I felt like a vampire because I'd see one and be like, I can't be your friend. I fucking hate you. Yeah, I think you're disgusting.
Yeah?
And it's like,
Wow.
why? I'm really nice. I do all this stuff. And it's
Yeah.
like, do you give money to churches? Yeah. So you help pay for pedophiles.
Yeah.
That's not what happens. It
It
is.
is what happens.
It could
It is
happen
what
once,
happens,
and it
unfortunately.
still means that what happens. So I fucking have a real hatred for it. Yeah,
Mm.
hate how much it's doing, and like everyone's apocalyptic while we're staring down a potential apocalypse.
I think I spent a lot of time hating religion in all its forms.
Mm.
Now I kind of think it's a bit silly. I think I've progressed beyond hating it to thinking it's like, and I think that might almost hurt
But-
a religious person more, because there's an expectation that you should. You have to respect
But
people's
anything
beliefs.
you do
Like,
to-
nah, watch this.
Anything you do to a religious person, they can retaliate however they want, and then just say sorry.
It depends on the religion.
I used to fucking play music at a bar,
Yeah.
and this older dude in the town that I lived in, he said to me, "Don't play at that bar if they call you." I was like, "Why that?" And he's like, because they will rip you off on Friday and Saturday, and on Sunday they'll go to church and apologize to someone else.
Mm.
And they will do it. That's why I only play there when I call them. I was like, that's interesting. And he pulled his phone out and he was like, look, I got missed calls and texts asking, hey, can you come down and do this? Can you come down and do that? He goes, like, fuck, you aren't going to pay me.
Interesting.
Yeah. And I always remember that. He goes, you always have a look at what they believe in before they're paying you on that gig night, bro.
Yeah.
Because I bet there'll be some dodgy shit if they believe anything. They'll
Yeah.
be dodgy as shit because they can just go to a building on Sunday and say, oh, sorry, I ripped off those fellas. Oh, what do I do? Oh, just make a motion in front of your face 4 times.
Yes.
Say these magic words and everything's better. And then they go back on Monday and they're like, right, who can we fuck over now? And that's, yeah, the guy that told me it is the greatest guitarist I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, really?
I had an American guy come into my music store and ask, do I know this dude? And pronounce his name horrible because it was a Māori name.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, bro, I know him. He's like uncle to us. Why is that? He goes, I've been all over the world. I've seen every guitarist you can name live. And I saw this guy play in Sydney. And I've been tracking him since, and I found out he lives here.
I've tracked him to the Waira Rapper.
Yeah, bro. And reckons, nah, greatest guitarist I've ever seen. Best, you put any name next to him, he can outplay them. He was the smartest, like just talk, and we're trying to work out like how much money do you have to go on your own solo world tour to track down guitarists you saw in Sydney once, you know? But this dude was real heavy into his guitar stuff, and he pointed out, he goes, when I watched him play, his fretboard, he'd gone through the fingerboard.
Right.
So whenever he had to hit certain notes, he had to bend it under or over to get that tone. And yeah, I had to restring the guitar. And when I looked at it, it was like, this fella's actually gone through the fingerboard.
Yeah.
And someone thought it was a cool idea to buy him a brand new Stratocaster.
He didn't want it.
He hated it.
Yeah.
Felt like shit. Yeah, because it sounded bad too. But yeah, that sort of, for a guy that awesome, of that level caliber, he's got all these cool stories about his music. And he's like, yeah, rule fucking one is don't fucking go play gigs for free for Christians.
Yeah.
It's like, whoa, out of everything you could have told me.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, the second one was Yngwie Malmsteen sucks. I seen him.
Oh, I could have told you that.
Yeah, well, everyone thinks that. But he's like, nah, we went and seen him live. My whole band, we're all Maoris. And we stood up in the front row and went, fuck this guy. And they all walked out. And I love the idea of Yngwie sitting in his backstage like, why do those little brown people hate me? Like, save us a break, brother.
Yeah, let's do
it. And then
it.
we'll kick into some more nonsense.
Alrighty.
Yep, we're back.
Okay, good. I'm happy to be back. I feel refreshed.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know about refreshed.
No?
I'll make my mind up later. I wanted to get your view on the Air Force pilot, like the active Air Force guy.
Yeah.
I don't know, pilot, but officer, who, in protest of America's involvement in the Israel-Palestine
You call him
thing,
an officer. You call him a hero.
hero, just raged against
One of
the
our
machine, bro, and
one of our good boys.
decided to rock up. I don't even know what the building was, but he lit himself
An embassy,
on,
I think.
Yeah, and he lit himself on fire in protest. But
Can't say he doesn't believe what he's talking about, right?
There's one little component of it that I find most interesting. Like, everybody's going to say what everybody can say whatever they want about the guy's motivations, or was it the right thing to do, or blah, blah, blah. But
I'm going to say it wasn't the right thing to do.
yep. What I want to point out to people is there is a photo of the guy on the ground on fire.
Yeah.
And an American police officer has his gun drawn on him.
You have to be wary for these threats, bro.
It's just so good. Like, I'm going to light myself on fire in protest of America's involvement in the destabilizing of this and giving money to Israel, and I don't want to be a part of this war. And then the police officer's response is to just pull a gun, hand on the trigger,
Yeah.
just while this guy's burning. And you're like, fuck, that seems real poetic or metaphorical. I'm not sure which one it is, but
Emblematic, maybe.
yeah, there's something there.
Yeah, there is something
there's
there.
something fucking there. Like,
It's the only way that an American cop can respond to anything.
I really thought about getting one of those. You can get those shirts made now in a style of like a hip hop artist, but it can be anything you want. And I
Okay.
really thought that picture of the fire, the Air Force guy on fire, and the cop having his gun drawn, which is like America. Like, you could make a pretty
Yeah.
interesting shirt with that.
That's not bad.
Yeah, you get beaten up for wearing it in the States, I'm assuming. but
Wow, I probably won't wear it there.
I probably wouldn't go there. It just seems.
I'd love to go there, bro.
Oh,
Gotta be
with-
packing heat though, bro.
Yeah, with security, bro. Yeah. No, it's just such a weird little fucking image to see it and be like, wow, that's horrific.
There's an army guy setting himself on fire. Have they had that before?
I
They've had
don't
people
know.
set themselves on fire, but not army guys.
Yeah, not like an active enlisted dude who's like, fuck this shit. I would rather light myself on fire than carry on this fake ass war.
Wow.
That's pretty heavy shit, man.
I mean, do you know where he did it? Was he in the US when he did it?
Yeah.
So he was an American cop, so he must be in the US.
Yeah. I don't know where.
What?
it
So he's
was,
not?
though.
Had he been fighting in Gaza?
I believe he's had one tour or some shit, and he's come home and.
But in Gaza,
Nah, I don't know if it was Gaza. you know.
right?
He's obviously been told to go do some shit that he felt bad about doing,
Yeah.
and has probably been told he's got to go do more.
I have to know more about this.
Yeah. Well, there's
Um,
your fucking homework that I know you'll do.
Yeah.
You are the apple on the desk of the teacher sometimes, so I'm the worm in the apple. It's all good. I know where I stand.
So somebody make that T-shirt. me
just
as an apple and you gently burrowing into my inside.
Yeah. Gently eating my way in.
Yeah, no, it'll have like impact, like spray coming off it.
Nah, it's just something that I thought when I saw the photo. It's just like, whoa. Okay, this is a heavy one, but that cop with his gun drawn, come on.
Yeah.
That's the same energy as the Acorn. The Acorn that fell on that car and that cop unloaded.
Yeah, bro.
Oh, fuck. Sorry. Just thought of something. So somebody that listens to our podcast tried to call us out on misinformation.
Oh, I'm
Because
curious.
of our collective apology. This guy messaged me saying, I can't believe that girl unloaded her gun because of an Acorn. What a stupid bitch. And I had to respond with, no, it's a guy. If you watch the clip, it's clearly a dude, and the other officer was a female. This guy was like, I'm pretty sure you'll find that it was a woman.
Okay.
And we know you fellas don't really check your stuff. So I quickly found the article, found quotes, copy-pasted, and to which that person has apologized quite profusely because they were fucking wrong.
Okay.
I don't think they're going to send in a song, but for that person, because I know you're going to fucking listen to this, get fucked, Chris. Sorry, keep going. Just sort of was something worth mentioning that
Yeah.
someone tried to call us out with your fucking sitting on a computer.
Well, good
and
on
call
you.
us out.
Good on you for not giving him the power, hey?
I was good 20 minutes he had the power, bro, but I wrestled it back. Fucking
Yeah, and
call
you're
me
obviously
out.
still not mad about it. That's good.
Nah, fuck Chris. But no, it was just very funny to have someone try and play this game.
Yeah.
Because we'd apologized once, we must be wrong again.
I don't think that'll happen again. The
Oh.
being wrong part, I assume.
I just won't listen when people tell me I am. Seems
Yeah.
like way more fun.
Good. That'll be a big adjustment for you.
It won't take much. Yeah. Well, moving on.
I had something that I wanted to talk about.
Is it politics?
Sort of.
Of course it is.
You want to talk about politics with me, don't you, Elvis?
Yeah.
It's not really politics. It's Julian Assange.
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 I
Yeah.
thought it was Assange.
It's Julian Assange.
Yeah, very Australian name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah. You're that guy who set himself on fire. If I could have had 5 minutes with him before he did it, I'm like, yo, they are fighting because of God.
Mm.
Like, you don't have to care about this, bro.
Yeah, bro.
You don't have to be part of it. You
I
can
don't
go
know,
do something else.
If you've got the capacity to light yourself on fire, Air Force probably not the one. Like,
Yeah. I mean, he could have done a lot. He could have made a grander statement,
yes,
I will
he
say.
fucking could have.
Yeah.
So
It's a wasted opportunity, really. Anyway, Julian Assange. This guy, so he did the original WikiLeaks leaks, right?
Yeah,
He
well,
leaked
yeah,
a bunch
yeah.
of diplomatic cables. So
he's the one with the the uncovered CIA plot that they've been trying to kill him for like 14 years.
So the evidence of that hasn't been put forward. His lawyers have said that there's evidence of it,
Yeah.
but I didn't get far enough into finding that evidence. But like, why the fuck would they not? In fact,
Yeah.
that's part of this story that
Yep.
that he. One of the things that has happened in the course of his extradition, them attempting to extradite him, is that a judge, and this must have been after Epstein, but a judge was like, I believe that if he goes to jail in the US, he will kill himself. So on those grounds, I will not allow him to be extradited. But then a high court judge overturned that decision because they said that the US had said that they'd be super nice to him. Seriously, like a lower court judge is like, no, he won't survive going to prison in the US. And then a high court judge is like, the US assures me he'll be fine. This is after Epstein. Crazy shit, bro.
and just so on brand.
Yeah, big time. So he's in trouble. Chelsea Manning got her sentence commuted by Obama from 35.
yep.
Chelsea Manning is who originally stole the cables.
Yeah. Just I was like Chelsea. What?
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't
no.
remember what their dead name was, but it's Chelsea now.
I know it.
Well, it would be incredibly inappropriate for you to say it. So Chelsea.
Jeff. No. Sorry.
Yeah. So, anyway, so this fella was come on. So Chelsea Manning was her sentence was commuted from
Come on.
35 years to 7 years by Obama. He got let out. Right. So Assange, he leaks these diplomatic cables, and right after it happens, Sweden's like, he raped somebody. He raped somebody around here, and we want him. Like, okay, all right. maybe he did, but also, okay,
Good timing.
yeah, fine, and maybe he did do it. We don't want to discount what anybody's saying. Okay, but then he went and hid inside the Ecuador embassy
In England? Was it in
in
London?
in England.
Yep.
The cops, the metro, whatever over there, was like, the moment he comes out, we'll get him. So they had like 4 cops outside the embassy for like 3 years, and after 3 years, they're like, oh, he's not coming out. Wasted enough taxpayer money on this. So they bailed. So he's in there for 7 years, bro, in the Ecuadorian embassy, and then he.
So in order to stay out of jail, he kept himself in one building for 7 years.
Yeah, because that's sovereign Ecuador territory.
but
You can't.
we
They're not allowed to go
We
in
often meet our fate on the paths we take to avoid it.
Yeah, bro. Okay, well he's he's in there for 7 years, and then WikiLeaks published something critical of the Ecuadorian government, and they kicked him out, bro. And that just made me think of that that fable of the frog and the scorpion.
Yeah, bro.
And then the frog goes, gas, ass, or grass, no one rides free. and the scorpion goes, oh no, but I spent all morning stinging this frog over here. Not the frog. I sting the fat pigeon over there. The pigeon that you hate, I sting.
Why is the
and
scorpion
then the frog
Hispanic?
says, yo, I hate that fucking pigeon. Yeah, I'll give you a ride, jump on. And then they're halfway across the river, right? And the scorpion receives a leaked diplomatic cable that suggests the frog is a war criminal. And he stings the frog. And the frog goes, why did you do that? And he goes, why did you do that? Now we will both die. And the scorpion goes, I'm a scorpion. I
Holy
cannot help
shit,
it.
guys. What was that accent?
I don't know. Trash it.
Pedro Pascal.
Sounds like a villain, though,
Yeah,
right?
very.
He says scorpion.
Yeah.
That might be some kind of Hispanic, but that doesn't matter. I just
Succinct way to put it.
I was just so I love that idea. Like he just couldn't help but publish stuff about the Ecuadorian government.
And then got fucked on.
So he was denied extradition to the US because they said, like, no, he'll kill himself. Like, he's autistic, he's laser focused on killing himself, and you guys have had people. Yeah, that guy fucking killed himself.
That one guy, no one can remember his name.
Yeah, who even cares? So yeah, they turn it over because the US is like, pinky swear we won't let him
we'll be
fucking
nice.
kill himself, dude. Okay,
Promise.
so his lawyers go, he shouldn't be extradited because he didn't commit a crime in the USA, nor was he a citizen, nor did he live or work there at the time. Doesn't that all
Vehicle?
sound kind of reasonable?
Yeah, it sounds totally reasonable.
Yeah.
But because he's released shit that implicates the US government,
Yeah.
That's-
So now the official legal defense is there is a CIA plot to kill him.
Yeah.
You can't fucking send him back. They're just going to kill him. So
Yeah.
that's all going through the courts now. That's super interesting.
do you reckon he has like a dead man switch?
Assange?
Yeah. Like
I don't
if
know.
they kill him?
No, I don't think so. No, I think he's been. I know. I think he's been gone to ground for too long. Like
Yeah.
they must have rooted out all his stuff now.
Because I always fascinated by that. Like the fellas who say they have all this information. And
Well, McAfee used to say that, bro. Do you
Yeah.
know about McAfee?
yes, I do.
So he's fucking
the
fascinating.
man.
There's a documentary about him on
Yeah, bro.
Netflix. It's
Shane
fascinating,
Gillis
dude.
Shane and Matt got to interview him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. and
Yeah, I've
they
heard
were
him interviewed by other people as
They were
well.
hitting him up about how apparently he likes pooing on girls.
Mm.
Yeah. That was like, you could have probably asked him some really in-depth questions.
I heard him interviewed, and the interviewer was like, "What's your advice about women?" He's like, "Never tell them your real name."
See?
King.
Yeah. There's been a lot of stuff lately that is like, I don't necessarily agree with what they're trying to do, but I won't deny that it's funny as shit.
Yeah.
Donald Trump the other day talking in his big press rally, his rally, and he said the lights were so bright he can't see anyone in the crowd. I can just see the blacks. Oh, how far I've come! Like, this, bro.
You can be horrified by
Yeah.
him and just kind of compartmentalize that, and then appreciate that that's a bit
I
funny.
did see a clip too that made me think, "Fuck, he's cool, but I hate him."
Yeah.
Was Donald Trump driving around his fucking golf course in like a decked out, decaled gold golf cart
Nice.
with a Huey Boom, and he just plays "It's a Man's World" by James Brown.
No
on,
shit, dude.
on his golf course, like just fucking having a drink and yeah, it's just
No, Trump doesn't drink.
no. He's just it's not alcohol. I don't
No.
know. He's just in his little golf cart that's all decked the fuck out, listening
Yeah.
to James Brown on his golf course.
Yeah.
It's like I don't know. There's something there to be like you've won. Like, how could you cause as much shit as this man has caused? He owes $846 million to a sexual assault person. He was like, didn't happen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what they call him, a
And his-
sexual assault person.
For him to just stand up and act like he's still crushing it. It's just, fuck. I don't know if I respect it or admire it or what, but I notice it.
Yeah.
There's something about being that big of a guy.
I think you could take parts of it if you can isolate like specific parts of his behavior and then go like, okay, well, that part's cool. Like the rest of it makes the whole thing unacceptable, but that part's pretty funny.
Guys who are hated for who they are and shit, but still doing really funny shit. Another one I saw was Andrew Tate saying, I finally got Gemini to make white people.
Yeah.
Do you know how he did it? He asked the AI, who enjoys KFC? And it came up with 4 pictures.
Oh, yeah. Okay,
That's just funny.
Sure.
I think it's hilarious because that Gemini thing got quite interesting. Did
Yeah.
you see,
I did see the Gemini stuff. Do you want to explain it?
Oh, just Google's amazing AI they've been touting and talking about how it's going to kill everything else. Turns out it's a little woke.
A little woke. That's a way to describe it.
Depicting the Nazis as Asian and the Vikings as black.
Yeah.
George Washington could be African American. There's no reason to say he wasn't.
Could have been.
Except all the other info that says he wasn't. But yeah, Google's come back being like, our bad, we'll rethink
Yeah, we'll have another crack. We'll make it so it's a bit less noticeable.
But if you say to it like, hey, can I have a photo? Can you make a picture of like a really wholesome white family? It's like, nah, can't do that. It's really bad to do that.
To me, that's what's so fascinating about AI is we have this potential tool.
Yeah.
And we're going to program it with all our fears and insecurities.
Do you find it interesting that Google, who probably has all of the resources,
they have all the resources.
and they've fucked it. They couldn't make an AI that
The problem is,
too woke.
I don't know, man. I think the problem is that they made it too obvious. All these AI image generators have been doing this. There was a guy, I can't remember his name now, but you can test these AI to see what is in their prompts.
Yep.
So, and one of the ways that you can do it is show me a woman holding a sign saying, and then you leave that blank, and sometimes it'll put the words in. And that'll come up with the stuff that they've put in. So they're putting stuff into your prompt that you didn't ask for. And if you want to, you could make compelling arguments for diversity and equity.
Yep.
That's all fine. You're wrecking the computers. Why are you wrecking the computers?
Weird.
You put all this effort into making them do weird stuff. I don't know.
I don't get it, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems real strange, but like Google used to have the catch.
They're not going to stop using it, by the way.
Oh.
They're just going to make it
Yep.
terrible
Yep.
and keep using it.
But Google used to have their whole philosophy for their company was don't be evil. And in like 2012, 2013, they got rid of that.
get rid of that off the building.
Yeah, and but like, wait on, don't you fellas have like every fucking thing? Like, surely if anybody could make an AI work and do what it says on the can,
Yeah.
I would assume it to be Google. You've got everyone's info. You've got all the money.
Look, they're very...
Like Google bought up all of the major robotics companies in America.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like Boston Dynamics and stuff. They own, like Alphabet owns all that stuff.
And they apparently the plan is to have Google Wi-Fi towers
Right.
that are robots and they walk.
Okay.
So you could like put, 1 million of these across the planet and we'd have Google Wi-Fi everywhere.
Okay.
That totally sounds like something that they could do. Then when you see them release an AI and it's like, oh, George Washington might have been black. And you're like, someone's fucking with these advancements. Like, I don't know who's doing it or why, but it just seems real weird that Google, who has this giant set of resources, can't get it right.
There is effort that you could put into making AI like safe and fair and equitable. And I think there's an amount of that effort that's worth doing. Especially the safe, you should kind of do as much as you can. But the when it won't generate white people. I'm not mad about that. But I'm fucking baffled. Why do you put all your fears and insecurities into it?
Yeah,
People do the same thing with God, where
Yeah.
they're like, this almighty creator, he gets a little jealous. Like this infallible being, like he can be a little envious sometimes. So watch what you have in your house.
Yeah, it's fucked up, man. The Google Gemini thing, though, I don't know, there was just something about it that I thought, of course this is how it happened.
Yeah.
But a part of me was like, that doesn't work in my head. How do you have all of the access to everything and still make this AI model?
It depends what you're focused on doing.
Yeah.
Are they
But so
focused on
that's
making the
what I'm
best
saying.
AI image
Yeah.
generator they can,
That's
or
what
are they
that's-
focused on making something that proves that they can't be evil because of all the black people they're putting
what
in
I'm
their
getting at.
AI?
It's like, yeah, so you've got access to all this shit,
Yeah.
and you still made this. You're clearly trying to do something else.
They're trying to make money. Like,
But-
they're all just trying to make money.
It's just so weird. You'd think they've already worked out how to do that.
Yeah, but you can never have enough money is the thing. You have to maximize. You have to. Infinite growth is the model that we're
Well,
working
how else
under.
are you going to
have
get the
maximize.
apocalypse to happen?
Well, I don't know how much.
I think they're all. I don't know. The more you're telling me your side of the thing, I'm like, this is all interlinked. Like,
Oh yeah,
yeah, like the apocalypse mongers,
yeah.
which other
But people who
call
are smart enough to program AIs usually don't believe in religion.
Yeah, but
Not always, but
It would
usually.
just take the one guy who's got lots of money and does believe in religion
Oh yeah,
to arc it that way.
yeah.
So if I think of like they could do that, there's probably an anti-religion guy saying make it not make white people. That's a real oversimplification, but you get where I'm coming from. Like
I do.
Yeah. It just seems so distorted to me. We could do anything. Well, let's make the Nazis Asian. So,
Yeah. I mean, it's just poor programming. Like they have
but it's
priorities.
yeah. There's a purpose. There's
yeah.
a purpose to it, and it's weird. Like it's like telling everybody, "Hey, we made hammers. They're great for killing dogs," and you're
Yeah.
like, "Holy shit, dude!
Holy shit, they would be good for that.
They are good at that, but we've worked out that if we got these other little things, we could smack wood together and make stuff."
Yeah.
Yeah, but we made them to kill dogs.
Yeah.
And you're like, what the? Why does this?
No, I have a
feel-
bolt gun for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a river in a sack. Yeah, peanut butter in the
Cold-
sack, dog in the river,
coldness.
gone, no dog.
Oh, yeah. No hesitation describing the plan. Very cold look in your eyes.
Yeah, hard. Oh, fuck. I've said to people before, what are you going to do when they've asked, oh, what would you do if an apocalypse started? And it's like, eat you.
Yeah.
Like, eat my dog.
Yeah.
Find marbled, rich, great white land sharks and act like I'm their friend and then eat them. Those
Yeah.
are boomers. Yeah, great
Yeah,
white
yeah,
land
yeah.
sharks.
Interesting.
Some of these boomers, man, they come to my work, they're fucking large, eh? Like, I feel like Steve Irwin sometime, bro. I'm just like, fucking crikey. Look at the size of this one. It's okay, mate. I'm just checking on you.
I'm constantly surprised by the size of people.
Oh, man. Like, there's some people you get told they're a big people, and you see them, and they are.
Yeah.
But then you look at white people and the range. Fuck, you fellas got it covered, eh? From
What are
tunnel
you
rat
fellas?
to great white land shark. Huh?
What do you mean you fellas?
Them.
Ah, sweet.
Their white part
No,
of
you
your
were
brain.
making you were
Yeah,
making
one
eye
part of
contact
your
with me.
brain
I'm
got
like,
painted.
yo,
I'm sorry. Fella won't take
Let's
anything I
keep
say
it civil.
seriously. I bring up a white person thing and you're like, you mean me? You started this with, I will take nothing you say on board anymore. I bring up one thing on white people and you're like, hey, help
I will not have you speak in such a way.
Yeah, suddenly Jizzy turns into your full name and you're like, this is outrageous. Just that white man way out.
Yeah.
think
I've
it's-
had just about enough of this.
I think Tom Papa has a big bit on that, the comedian, about wanting to smoke weed at a musical. And he's like, it's fine, I'm white. Like, I'm middle-aged. I walk
Yeah.
out and someone goes, can you smell marijuana? I'm like, what? That's outrageous. And they know it's not him. But it was Tom the whole time.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Do you think-
Sorry, I'm just more...
Oh, I was wondering if we should take a break and then launch into a spirited segment, fan favorite.
I think it might be time for the tunnels.
Bring on the tunnels.
We'll get you fellas up. Well, who are we kidding? You fellas will be right there. We can do what we want. We're like Skeletor and He-Man at this point. I'm fucking obviously Skeletor.
It's not that obvious.
We didn't have to
Hold,
talk
hold
about
on.
this.
Hold on.
Oops.
Tunnel Talk. What do you think about that short intro there to
Loved
Tunnel
it.
Talk?
I'm just
Yeah.
worried somebody heard an intimate moment before that they weren't supposed to. But let's move on.
I think people will hear. They'll hear this. There'll be an outcry if people would prefer to hear the
People
full
will
version
hear what I
every
want
time.
them to hear. Oh, sorry. Certain part of my brain that I wasn't trying to let out came out.
Well, perhaps I'll pick which Tunnel Talk we use next time.
Oh, okay. What tunnel thing do you want to start with?
Well, I've got maybe like an appetizer Tunnel Talk.
Yep.
Like so I was reading about the Suez Canal tunnels called the Sinai tunnels that go
So
under the Suez Canal in
Canal
Egypt.
is the one that got famous for the boat getting stuck a few years back. Was it the Evergreen or
That's what was printed on the side of it, but it wasn't called
that.
it.
Yeah. But that's the one, That it,
That's
like,
the one, yeah.
Went, like,
Yeah, there's a
blocked
great photo of a digger trying to move it, but the digger's like 1/10,000th the size of the ship. It's hilarious.
Yep.
was
When I
it-
told you a story once about Greg O'Connor and there not being any Guinness in New Zealand, and
Oh, yes.
I used that canal.
Yes,
as,
yes, I
yeah,
do
yeah.
remember that.
Yes, I know this.
He called Kandala a middle-class suburb the other day, which I thought was pretty amazing. There was a murder there.
That's like saying Margot Robbie's mid.
Yeah, bro,
that
it's-
idiot.
yeah, it's
that's,
like
that's
that.
dumb as.
Yeah, it's like you're just saying that to people who don't know, like whatever.
Anyway, sorry.
These Sinai tunnels. So, well, just they're interesting in their own right. Like the Egyptians were super stoked on them because they did them way faster than anyone thought they could. They got German tunneling machines to come in, and they had German engineers, like the people who build the tunneling machines. They had them supervise the building of the machines,
Yeah.
and that was supposed to take like 6 months or something, and they did it in 2 by working in shifts around the clock. And they're super proud of the fact that it's all done with Egyptian capital, Egyptian hands. So they built a bunch of
they
these
can be
tunnels.
proud of this one, not like when they made the Jews build those triangles.
Well, we'll get to the Jew connection,
Keep going.
so to speak. What I wanted to talk about was they talked about encountering a certain kind of soil on their way down that was particularly unstable for tunneling, and they said that they filled it with tooth and sand.
What?
Tooth and sand. And
Brilliant.
that's the reason I bring this up, is a Google search yielded nothing. I have no idea what that could possibly mean. Is it a strange Egyptian mistranslation, or is something going on? shutupdudenz@gmail.com. If you know what tooth and sand is,
Please.
I want to hear from
Yeah,
you.
please message us.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Um,
That tooth and sand.
Tooth and sand, that's what it said. Like they stabilized
I've
the
never heard that
soil
in
with
my
tooth
life.
and sand, and a Google search got me nothing. It's the mysteries of the tunnels.
We can't even hit up our fact checker, mate. He's had a bit of a mishap, but tooth and sand sounds really, really scary.
Why would you have enough teeth to be able to change the makeup of soil for a tunnel?
Yeah,
That's
that's exactly what I'm dealing with right now.
I know
How
where to get
many
sand.
teeth do you need to change soil?
I assume a lot. They're big
How do
tunnels.
you apply the teeth? Like,
Yeah.
can you just throw them like some sort of demented tooth fairy just trying to help fertilization? Like,
And then they got to grind them up. Like you can't.
Yeah.
Presumably they don't mean mixing whole teeth. I have no idea what this is. So if anybody knows, please reach out.
next
um,
week it's going to be like, tooth talk.
Maybe.
It's Toothy 46.
Great.
Fuck, that's crazy. Yes, yeah. I've never heard of that.
Well, that's just a
Interesting.
warm up.
Yeah,
Do
yeah.
you have any tunnel talk this week?
I have just gone and done a bit of a deep dive on the Vietnamese ones.
Oh yeah.
So that Coochie province. I think when we first talked about it, I didn't quite.
I think I called it Chi Chi.
Chi
It's
Chi, whatever.
Coochie.
I don't know. I've just read it. I don't hear it pronounced, but it's really buzzed me up because when I think you said about the 200 kilometers of tunnels,
200 miles,
whatever it was,
and that's just in
yeah.
Coochie.
My brain thought Vietnam. I thought the entirety of their tunnel system to fight in the war was 200 miles.
And that
of
would be a
tunnels.
lot.
And that's a lot. No, wrong. I was wrong.
Nah,
It's
bro,
just
that
there.
one city.
Yeah, so I was having a look at like I didn't realize you'd said about the way the tunnels move. It's like every length.
Well, they undulate, right?
Yeah, they change direction a lot.
Yeah,
and that's
so that you can't get a shot down the tunnels.
and protection from grenades.
Yeah.
I didn't know about how they fucking sealed the entrances to certain parts because the American GIs were using gas.
Who sealed them?
No, the Viet Cong. So
Yeah,
they
yeah.
have like doors that they could shut
Yeah,
that were
oh.
like sealed.
What, that just looked like the end of the tunnel?
No. So like there's a tunnel, like as you go around a corner, you go two ways.
Yeah.
And this might be like a hospital.
Right.
Or food or
Yeah,
something.
training grounds, they had
Yeah.
everything.
But it has a door on it that when you push it would seal the tunnel, and the poisonous gas the GIs pumping doesn't do anything.
Yo.
Yeah, and they would have latches all the way through of like, I don't know how they would communicate or how they laid the tunnel system out, but they could be like, hey, they're going to do the gas thing, and then it would just be like, fluck, 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 and they'd shut all these latches and the one tube.
Damn.
But apparently they would do it in a way that they could shut all the tubes and funnel the fucking gas back and kill the GI tunnel rats that they'd put in. So,
Jesus.
yeah, these fellas would like send a guy in to go this way and we'll gas this way and we've got to catch him. Nah, these motherfuckers were sealing the hatches so that all of the gas was going back and killing their own tunnel rats. Yeah, massive problem they faced was getting the bodies out.
Get bodies out of the tunnels. Oh, jeez.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. And then I
Yo.
found out more about the snake one. The cobras tied to the roofs.
Yeah.
Yeah, so apparently another trick they do is cut off pipes and put them in the wall. So people thought, oh, that must go somewhere.
Yeah.
But they stuffed the pipes with snakes. So as you crawl, you're like, they're going the right way. And you
Yeah.
crawl around and then like 8 snakes fall out of the pipe. It's like such an arbitrarily chaotic number.
Yeah,
that
that's
if you're,
great. It's an even bunch.
Yeah, so I watched these 2 interviews.
If it's a bigger tunnel, you use a baker's dozen.
I watched these 2 interviews with these actual tunnel rats. One was an Australian. Oh no, 3 of them. One was Australian and 2 of them were Yanks. And the first Yank guy reckons that the most terrifying moment in the tunneling experience is your first kill, because you have to do it in silence and you have to do it in the dark.
Yeah.
And you don't know who you're wrestling or fighting. But he explained that the only way to kill this person was to crush his trachea with his forearm in a tunnel in pitch black. The other guy reckons he heard a noise. Oh, no. Apparently they train the tunnel rats. Sorry, I'm going too fast.
It's all right.
You have to
I get excited
you
talking
have
about
to
tunnels
close
too.
your eyes and use all of your other senses.
Yeah.
So this dude reckons he came, the one that killed the...
That's why they don't fire their guns in there, man.
So the one that did the trachea, he knew that guy was in the tunnel with him because of the smell of his breath.
Yeah.
He could smell breath in the tunnel.
True.
And that's how he knew someone was there, and then sort of like lashed into the dark and hit someone. And that's how they started fighting in complete silence in a tunnel.
Jeez,
And
that's terrifying,
Yeah, bro.
man.
The other guy that I saw reckons he was crawling through pitch black darkness, and as he came around this corner, he felt like a presence, like someone was there, something was there, and he turns his torch on, and it was a 3-year-old eating a cracker who waved at him.
Oh,
And he said as he saw it and was like, oh no, there's someone here. Oh my God, it's a fucking kid. He said he waved back and just went past. And as he went past into the next section, he just started bawling his eyes out, being like, what if I'd have killed that kid? What if that kid's dad had put that kid there?
Well, I might be about to kill that kid's
Yeah,
dad,
yeah.
and then the kid comes up.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
anything could happen.
And yeah, man, these tunnel docos, though, are fucking freaky.
Oh, should link me.
I'm trying to download them so that we can watch them. And
Oh, yeah.
we'll do commentary on them. But holy shit, some of the stuff I found in those tunnels, man. And like, I've got my boss is going to Vietnam in 2 weeks or some shit. And I'm like, please, if you go anywhere near there, can you please like take photos or get me tunnel merch or whatever the fuck
Tunnel
it is.
merch. I'd be down for some tunnel
Just
merch.
a second, I'm just got this thing I've prepared. I don't have to play it, but it was just the scale of what these fucking traps were, like dropping grenades in the tunnel. Like I found this animation of all the different traps, and the traps that were invented by the Vietnam Viet Cong or Vietnamese, whatever you want to call them. Do you know about pedal traps?
What's a pedal trap?
A pedal trap is two boards that are like, say, 200 wide, and 250 wide, but 200 of it is covered in bamboo spikes. They are pushed together with nothing underneath it, and they're just put in the ground. So as you're walking along as a soldier, you stand on that.
Sandwiches bamboo spikes into your leg.
and so your foot goes straight through it, and it sandwiches.
Nasty.
And the stuff these fellas made, they still use on animals. So they got
like traps?
Yeah, the traps they used on the GIs were so efficient and better than they'd ever used in the history of Vietnam that they still use them now to trap food.
Hard
it's
out.
Like taught to kids and shit. Like you can, hey, if you get a box, you can put it here, but you dig a little hole under the box, and then when something runs in the box, it'll just fall into the hole and it can't get out. And it's you can spike the bottom, you can spike the side. Like they're just you push cunts into a corner, bro. Yeah. They find ways out of the corner.
You find a really big bird, right? Like a big bird that you think you want to eat, like an ostrich or something, and then you just paint a tunnel on the side of a mountain
and let it run into the yeah, bro. That's it. As far as I can tell, that works.
Yeah, as far as my research has taken me.
Oh, and Tunnel Person Update, one of our D1 Hall of Fame tunnel people, was the Tunnel Girl, who's been going under her house.
Yes.
Yeah. If anyone's interested, find her on Minecraft, find her on TikTok or Instagram or whatever, and have a look at her world she's created in Minecraft.
Yeah, you showed me a little bit.
She has factories and towns, and like they all function like, yeah. I believe when I showed you, you did say, yeah, that's autistic. But
there's no record of that happening.
No record of that, but that's autistic, bro. Like, she's made this.
I'm going to say, if you're building Minecraft factories to that level and tunneling under your own home, it might be possibly a dash of the tism.
But yeah, she's crushing it. But yeah, if anybody sees
that's great. Yeah, good for her.
Yeah, she's so cool.
Fuck, I wish my tunneling was anywhere near on the level of hers.
Yeah. Nah, that was, and yeah, just the detail of those traps and the tunnels and experiences of some of these tunnel guys. Like, I'm gonna get these docos because they're fucking heavy, but yeah, just I don't think people really can comprehend the scale, size, and detail of the Cu Chi or Chi Chi tunnels or whatever it is. This is some insane shit. Like, yeah, training grounds, gyms. Places to sleep, all underground. Like, America thinks like they're cruising around on the top to like Fortunate Son, dropping bombs and napalm and Agent Orange all over this tiny continent because they can't get them to shut the fuck up, and they're just like chilling in the tunnels underneath, just no problem. Yeah, it's so fascinating that human spirit's just like, oh, you gonna come? Yeah, you're gonna fuck around. You're gonna find out.
So there's a couple of like tunnel busting operations that happened. One of them was Operation Crimp. There was another operation. I can't remember what it was called, but I was reading about those too, and that might be something interesting to talk about in the future.
Look them up.
I wonder if our show's getting a little long. Do you want to talk about smuggling tunnels now? We could.
Have you got smuggling? Yeah, sneak 'em in.
We can talk about smuggling tunnels, maybe a little bit, and then wrap the show up.
We will never go longer than our last longer. Our last longer was 1:20. Hour 20 is the longest we're at. We're at 1:07. So if you've got some...
Well, that's a line in the sand that I bet we will never cross.
We will cross it immediately.
I wanted to talk about smuggling tunnels, partly because we were talking about El Chapo last week.
Yep.
So the Sinaloa cartel had smuggling tunnels that were over 1 kilometer long, going from Mexico to the US. And when they find them, like in one of these tunnels, they found 36 tons of marijuana. That's a lot. Like, they got a rail system and there's nobody there. Just when it needs to happens real quick through the tunnel. Nobody knows.
So
everybody's
cool.
gone by the time they find it. Well, they found hundreds of these things. And then I started looking at the Gaza Strip smuggling tunnels.
Yep.
So after Israel pulled out of Gaza in whatever, like 2005, they put massive limits on what the Gazans can import, like food and water and weapons and concrete and stuff.
The motherfuckers so they're like Nazis, bro.
Maybe.
Be careful what you hate. Be careful what you hate.
Look,
you either turn into it or your kids will have sex with it.
These are religious weirdos. fighting over the Holy Land. We don't have to care about it.
I don't.
Okay, so
That's why I like saying mean shit about both sides.
yeah. So we got these. So we got these smuggling tunnels, right? So the smuggling tunnels kind of have to exist because they don't give them, like, you can't give the Gazans enough concrete to rebuild the homes that you bombed, because they'll build tunnels with them.
Yep.
Ironically, so you have to limit the amount of concrete. So they have
If you push
not
people
hundreds.
into a corner,
Yo, I think it says here that there were thousands. Okay, in 2013, 2014, Egypt's military destroyed most of the 1,200 smuggling tunnels. There's more than 1,000 smuggling tunnels between Gaza and
it'd
Egypt.
only take one fucked off guy.
There's a like a dead zone in Rafah, which is a village that like straddles Egypt and
That's where
Palestine.
they were telling them all to go, eh?
That might be where they're telling
Yeah,
them to
they
go
were
now,
trying to
but they're not allowed to
bottleneck
go
them.
to Egypt.
No, they bottlenecking them into Rafah.
Well, they'll be crossing through the tunnels.
Yep.
I guarantee it. So they made this border that at first was 500 meters, then it was 1 kilometer. Now it's 5 kilometers. So if anybody's going through there, they're using a 5-kilometer smuggling tunnel.
Jesus.
So the Gazans bring in but because the sanctions are so extreme, they have to have these tunnels
Yeah.
so they can bring in
Course.
fuel for generators that desalinate seawater so that they don't die of dehydration.
it's-
Like they're being
it's-
forced to
We
tunnel.
were just saying about the Vietnamese ones. It's like you push someone into a corner, they will find amazing and elaborate.
You go down
ways
if
to
you're
go
pushed into a
yeah.
corner, or you dig.
You dig down, bro, and like, it's disgustingly upsetting to be a human, and know that cunts with imaginary friends are making people build tunnels out of necessity and not because it's awesome.
Yeah,
Like it's just a cool thing to have a tunnel. Nah, these motherfuckers have to do it.
yeah.
Like, you know, you're bringing in a fucking generator to salinate.
Desalinate the water. Yeah,
Yeah, what the fuck, eh? It's just... I remember seeing a clip years ago of a little kid who had just been pulled out of rubble in Gaza, and they were asking if the kid was alright.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the kid was going to die. And the kid, like, had this weird tantrum cry, and while they were trying to calm it down, the kid screams out, "I'm telling God on all of you." And I remember hearing that, just being like, I could have totally gone my whole life and never had to feel the way that made me feel.
yeah.
Yeah, it's... Sorry to jump in, it's just... These tunnel things, they're so exciting and inspiring, and then when you realize the people doing it
Yeah.
are on the, like, last
It's like a
resort.
gun, bro. Like the inspiring stories of
Yeah.
people have like guns are super cool. Like a triumph of
Yep.
form and function. Like the great equalizer. Like
Yep.
all these positive things that you could say about
And
guns.
then they do...
But the stories of people using them,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's
I mean,
it's weird that imaginary friends keep doing this to our planet, and these apocalyptic fucking dickheads. Oh, sorry. I'm gonna go home and listen to heaps of cattle decapitation after this.
yeah, enjoy that. You just stay off that Metallica, huh?
Actually, just because you've said that, I'm gonna
Didn't
go
you-
home and play Sanitarium
Didn't-
4 times.
You told me you lost your virginity to Metallica.
Stanger.
Was
Yeah.
it one at a time or?
No, it was
altogether?
to Saint Anger.
No, I mean, like,
Oh.
was it Kirk Hammett fucks you and then James Hetfield's fucks you, or did they kind of all?
Oh, I see what you've done there.
Yeah, that was pretty clever, right?
No, it was just Lars. It was just Lars.
The worst one.
Yeah.
The worst possible, like, percussive, like, he's got the worst rhythm.
Amazing dick
Okay.
rhythm, though.
I'm going to take your word on that.
That's all good. What was it like being molested by Jeff Buckley?
It was so real.
Isn't it weird that we can't let you play acoustic by a river in case you walk into it?
I'm thinking about it. Look,
Yeah.
this has been Tunnel
Hey,
Talk.
I might have lost my virginity, Metallica, but yeah, at least I wasn't molested by fucking... actually, no, fuck. You would have been molested by Jeff Buckley, Leonard Cohen, and Josh Homme smoked a cigarette
I'm going
while
to
stroking
the
it.
Queens of the Stone Age, damn it.
You have to go.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, nah.
get some rules to follow.
It's going to be so good to know that you're standing there being like, can everyone just be quiet? You're ruining it. Josh is talking. This is why I don't even come to concerts. We love you guys. Email us,
Yeah.
message us. Don't talk shit about us. We don't give a fuck. Skeletor out.
I don't want to hear the segments prior. I just want to hear the tunneling part. In my heart I have but one desire. An underground tube, the dank and the